Hello everybody, I'm too old for toys and I know it's long overdue, but yes, it's finally time for me to announce the winner of that Robots of All Nations contest that I held with iShop2Go a while back. Now this is going to be an extremely long video going into detail about all the finalists and put forward to Mokanaman, who then subsequently gave them scores. Before we go to that, let's take a look at the winner of the yellow paint scheme contest, which was Alberto's FTW. Let's watch him receive his prize.
Hello guys, it's Alberto's FTW. My prize from iShop2Go. So I won the 2 for Toys competition. That I'm making him, this guy. Let's see what I ordered. Oh, it's all nice and taped up. The Mushin Gundam Mark II Master Grade. Wow, this box is huge. Yeah, so this is what I ordered. This is why I got in the competition.
Nice choice, Alberto's. And to cut a long story short, let's have a look at the winner for the Robot of All Nations contest, which is Meads, who has already received his prize.
Hi everyone, my name is Meads, and I got my package from the iShop2Go, who sponsored the contest for Too Old for Toys Robot of All Nations. Here's my contest entry, the mobile sumo with the Philippine flag, custom theme. And can you guys guess what's inside? So any guesses? Alright, there's a high grade Universal Century Sinanju, and there's iShop2Go. Awesome kit. And again, thank you very much iShop2Go for sponsoring the contest, and Tool for Toys for hosting it, as well as Mokanaman for helping judging the contest. Yep, awesome.
Now my personal favourites that I'm going to mention that didn't quite make it include King Triforcer, and his entry was a Canadian Impulse, a no grade, and the reason I like it is because very good use of the natural seam lines that you get in a cheap kit to produce perfectly straight edges between the red and the white partitions of his paint scheme. The Canadian flag in the stripes and also the maple leaf on the chest. It speaks to me as the nation of Canada, which is why I liked it. Then there's Caboose 1205, whose Captain America paint scheme. Firstly, I find it amusing. It's a crossing of genres between American comic books and Gunpla. It's very hand painted like the previous one that I liked, and I think it's a theme that can be expanded upon. In fact, it's Gundam, but not as we know it. Nice job, Caboose. So as you can see, this is going to be an exceedingly long video, and the reasons for that is because I'm going to call up Mokanaman, and we're going to go through our thoughts and how we came to the finalists that we received for this contest. Maybe you'll learn something, I don't know. The audio levels are a bit messed up because I just put down my iPhone next to the speaker of my laptop and recorded our conversation. At the time, it was the only way that I had to record both of us. At least you can hear Mokanaman speaking clearly, but the volume levels for myself is rather low, so what you gonna do about it?
To answer your question about why we excluded master grades or expensive kits.
We did receive some comments that some people couldn't afford master grades. I wanted to do something which was more accessible to everybody. Is it a case that a person with a master grade entry, do they have an intrinsic advantage over somebody who has a lesser graded kit?
They actually do. There's a lot less work in the master grade in your filling of the seam lines and removing your faults.
But a good point about Alberto's, because he was the winner of the previous contest, is that he didn't just rely on just recoloring parts differently from
No.
what they originally were, because he did a digital camo, and that requires a lot of masking and a lot of effort, you can see.
And besides digital camo, the colour scheme flowed very well, so it was very pleasing for the eye, and it just looked like something that you would buy in toy form or you'd actually see somewhere. His design flowed quite well from the previous competition.
We can move on.
Yes. Each of the models that you gave me in that list to score are all here, including the 3 models I chose as an extra recommendation. So we can have a bit of a look at it. So look at the Master Grade Cubelley first.
It was very good of him to submit an entry just for fun.
Mm-hmm. I believe we talked to this individual via your comment page of the competition video. He did a lot of masking. Looks like it's either can painted or airbrushed. It's a very neat model.
I know from personal experience that straight lines are harder to do than I initially thought.
It's taken me a few years to master straight lines, and I've tried many techniques such as putting coats of clear before you put your tape down for the sake of being too thick, or paint seeping under the masking. That's another point, bleeding. That's something that's also quite difficult when masking. Goes to Xeon 1 to 200 scale Gundam. Now,
He's a famous guy.
Not only, he was a little difficult to judge because he's an actual personal friend of mine, and that could go to conflict of interest. I compete with him on a personal level in a lot of competitions, and I was actually there when he bought this kit. We were at the Bakuk in Sydney.
So this is an interesting choice in kit as well, because it's the only 1 in 200 kit that we had.
Mm-hmm.
And being
And
smaller, the color separation isn't all that great, in fact.
And it actually comes pre-coloured and pre-deckled. Masking and painting extremely small scale kits is extremely difficult, and he's done an excellent job of it.
That's a very good point. The shield, everything there is a different color. The star, the main part of the shield, and the border, it's all a single piece, so instead of taking pieces apart and then spraying them individually.
That's true.
The smaller the scale of kit, the more difficult it is to pull off a good paint job.
Definitely.
I've only just realized that it is Australia. I thought it was Brazil.
No, it's Australian. The flag has the 5 stars, the Southern Cross. If you ever see Australia competing in a sport in the Olympics or anywhere abroad, they wear green and gold. Next, Duke 4799, the Zogok. I believe you like this one a lot.
It being a caricature of, I'm not sure, a very politically correct caricature of a nation's representation. So it's obviously a Zulu warrior. Which country was it again?
I believe it was Africa,
Okay. This is in the spirit of G Gundam, I think.
which you did mention in the competition video.
Yeah.
And it was very clear the hobbyist who built this did it out of pure fun, and he wanted to go for the true feeling of G Gundam instead of the flag theme. Used the original Zogok kit, not one of the more modern ones or the high grade ones. It was the very early ones, so they only come together in several pieces with extremely shocking seam lines. And on top of that, even though some of the painting seems a bit like on the chest, face and shield very rough, that's done in the spirit of tribal painting, where if you look at the shoulders and the zebra stripes or the cheetah spots, that's done with an amazing amount of experience and knowledge. This fella's extremely skilled.
Definitely a good sense of humor, and I enjoyed this entry.
But it definitely needed a shout out. Probably going into the competition now, that's the special mentions. Miss Tofu Sauce, commended.
Okay.
The SD Cubelley.
Now this one works for me because it's in terms of being instantly recognizable as the Stars and Stripes of America. But where it loses out is that it's fairly low resolution, I think, right?
All it was a video where the individual was talking and waving this around the screen like crazy. It was actually very difficult to find a screenshot where it's held still for a second to take a screenshot. From what I can see, the Stars and Stripes are very well masked or hand painted. I can't quite tell, but it looks extremely neat and well executed. It's a shame that there's no clear photos.
I think a contestant needs to show their entry very clearly. If you move the object around the screen a lot and you're only submitting a video, it does bring into doubt whether you're doing it on purpose, so as to hide the flaws in your entry. So if you submit a clear photograph of the thing just standing there and it's nice and sharp, there is no question, right?
Even if you don't own a digital camera per se, sometimes what I do, just have the second shot at the end of the video where it's just still and you hold the camera on a tripod or a stack of books and just film it for several seconds and probably have another 2-3 shots at different angles.
Precisely.
That would be of help.
Precisely. This is a nice Cubelley, I like it.
Particularly knowing the kit. The kit's not that crash hot. I think it comes in only like 7 pieces.
But the sculpt is pretty good. And,
right, it's very cute. It's just there's a lot of effort in masking. It doesn't come apart where it's coloured.
Right.
Red Arrow, commended. To tell the truth, I'm not too sure what the history is with the Red Arrow or even what country it belongs to. I think it may be...
It's the UK. It's of the British Air Force, and they have a team of these red planes, and they do acrobatics at air shows.
I know.
So I was thinking, you know, it might not be instantly recognizable as being from the UK, but it is. So I can see that he's used some decals from an aircraft kit, probably, those circles.
I know a lot of the Commonwealth countries use the same symbol, so that's why I'm sort of doubting it might be from England.
And the rest of it's probably hand-painted?
Yes, the kit is definitely hand-painted. You can see the line across the chest is a tad rough.
Yep, but it's alright, it's an inexpensive kit.
I believe it's like one of the early Victory Gundam kits. I'm not too sure which one.
And another difficulty with those ones is that I think anything from Victory Gundam, if you take a 1 to 1/44 scale of one of these Gundams and compare it to any other series, they are very small. Any suggestions for this paint job to make it better?
Probably if you did do a little masking in the chest and you did some sort of definition to the body, because the whole body's just painted red. If let's say you put a dark red or a black wash across the body, that would add a ton of extra definition and straightening things up. It would sort of bring the kit to life instead of looking toyish. Sometimes if you do hand paint a panel and if you do put a sludge wash on it, sometimes it can actually hide some flaws and make it look a lot more straighter and flatter, or give you a guideline to actually neaten up it without masking. It's a nice little cheat.
Good stuff.
Back to Alberto's for the win. It's a very neat job in painting, though he's had the assistance of the kit being able to come apart where he's able to change the colours, as we discussed in the high grade range. Though he has gone to the effort of adding decals and bringing this colour scheme together to represent the Brazilian soccer colours or soccer team colours.
I think it's the soccer team colours. Anybody who's interested in the printing of the decals themselves, I think Alberto at some point is going to give us a tutorial video on how he does that, so keep an eye out on this channel.
Move on?
Yeah. Aries the umpteenth.
Beautiful. An early HGUC kit of the Gyan. I like how it looks like a Templar, the Knight Templars. And I believe the chest was meant to represent the Red Cross flag.
The St. George.
The masking's fairly well executed except for the very edges on the side of the body where they don't quite match. Besides that, not a lot of faults. It looks quite nice. Possibly could have used the light wash to bring out more definition. Wash normally always looks great on metallics. Yeah, it looks great.
Just a comment on the design of the mobile suit itself is a bit of a caricature in terms of it looks like a knight in shining armour. but in a
So
giant metal
it's an
robot.
appropriate use of the design of the MS with the theme of the colour scheme to the competition. Sometimes you can select the personality of a kit to match what you're building for these artistic competitions.
Yeah, it definitely has a lot of character, this design. I like it.
Very, very well done. Now this fella, it's Xander Witzaro. I think I'm pronouncing that wrong for sure. Yeah, I think I just made a fool of myself. That's cool. That's what I do.
All
The
right.
Valkyrie.
A Macross entry.
Yes, what we've been waiting for.
Is this from Brazil?
Yes, it is. And it's also, I believe, the earlier Bandai Macross kits, not the later Hasegawa ones or the other manufacturers. For some reason, I think every manufacturer had to go at a Macross kit for some weird reason. I don't know how the licensing works. Very difficult kits to build. Very nice paint job, well masked. My biggest complaint is the decals silvering, the 711 or the 117,
Oh, yes.
and that UN Spacey or Federation decal on the other side has a very obvious silver around the edge.
I think the way around this would be traditionally to spray it in a gloss finish first before you apply the decals, and then on top of that spray your matte finish if that's what you wanted.
Yep, that is correct. And I believe he used some sort of military plain decal on the side by the frosters of the Brazilian flag or something like that.
I'm not so sure. I think that's a hand-painted Brazilian flag sign, which is not bad. Yeah, it's refreshing to see something different from the usual Gundam entries. Yeah, we don't have any restriction on, you know, a particular series. You can have something from anything.
No, that's why I really appreciate that rule. Ghosty-chan.
Now, Ghosty-chan, I think, stands out from the crowd because the presentation of the photographs and the description, the written description, is exceptional. I think the best out of the lot, in fact.
The photography is near professional level. I wish I could take photos of my stuff this well. And the painting's amazing. It's airbrushed, and there's examples of post shading, which is very well done. I think it was the Denmark flag. Or...
No, it's a German flag.
Wow.
The gold, a substitute for the yellow.
Okay. My only issue with this kit was whatever flag it did represent. When I did look at the example of the flag and this kit, it's the colour theme of the flag, though I don't see much of a representation.
You can see in the base the black, the red, and then the yellow, but the shade of the red and yellow isn't quite matching what I see on the flag.
No, but besides that, an amazing paint job on a fairly old and ordinary kit.
The older the kit is, the more challenging your task is, really.
No, I'm familiar with these Universal Century ships. I bought up a heap of them on a sale a while ago, and they definitely do look challenging.
For anybody wanting to submit a photograph-based entry for a competition, if you look at Ghosty-chan's presentation on the forum, I think it's an excellent example of what you should be aiming at to present your entry.
If you present in this way, it makes the job quite easy for the judges, and we hate deducting points because of lack of presentation, and if it's a joy to judge, there's more chance of winning.
Good stuff, Ghosty-chan.
Beautiful. Japanese Sandman, and this is starting to be the countdown to the winner. Third place. He entered two kits, a 1 to 220 scale Cubelley and an Elmeth. And I chose the Elmeth over the Cubelley in judging. Now, I've built this kit before, so I'm extremely familiar with it. And he's done a lot of masking and effort in seam line filling. It's a representation of the rising sun flag, or the flag that Japan used earlier from the turn of the century to the Second World War.
Yeah, I think he pulls off the transition of the flag onto the paint scheme of the Elmeth very well.
The shape of the Elmeth and the way that the sun rays are going, it just looks great. I love how that blends in very, very well.
And it's the first time I've noticed on this how detailed the landing gear is. As in the previous entry from Ghosty Chan, this one was never re-released in an updated high-grade version. If you want the Elmeth, this is the only way you're going to be able to get it, right?
Mm-hmm. All the Xeon mobile armors of this scale and vintage are a lot of fun to build. They're a lot more detailed and a lot nice to look at than the same year mobile suit kits. Another thing I'll point out about Japanese Sandman, in his entry video, he pointed out his actual own mistakes. When you enter in competitions, normally people try to hide their mistakes, and it's quite funny he did that. Unfortunately, sometimes judges can miss or, overlook mistakes, or miss them altogether. So when we did we're talking about standards of entries, whenever you're posting a lot of text or image or a video, entering in any sort of competition, try not to bring any attention to any mistakes.
If you love the Cubelley and you want to share your passion for the Cubelley, then you hop over to Japanese Sandman's channel, because he is obsessed with the mobile suit.
Don't know if it's healthy or not, but it's all good. The Elmeth is the first kit he's publicly that's not a Cubelley.
Good stuff, Japanese Sandman.
Yep, well done, mate. Now, second place, Tin Skull for his high-grade Zogok. Here we go. This was a really cool kit. What I have to point out is his masking is absolutely clear-cut and amazing. He's done an amazing job on masking that Union Jack. He was also daring enough to actually remove the mask on camera where something could have gone wrong, and posted that online.
Very sharp lines. And the Union Jack is probably the most difficult flag to mask off, I think. He did a very good job of that.
It came, in points-wise, it came very close to the winner. It was hard to choose a winner between the two. It actually came down to which one represented their country's flag better. Because since both modelers had exceptionally good techniques demonstrated on their kits.
It does remind me of a Mini Cooper, like he does mention, actually.
But yeah, the one thing that would distinguish this kit from the winner has to be that pink eye. Besides that, spot on.
Okay, so who's the winner?
Leeds, the 1:144 scale sumo, representation of the Philippines flag.
So this was a 600 yen pre-high grade kit, and it has horrible seam lines, and for him to come up with this design, I think he's done a very good job on this. It looks very nice.
I could see two major elements of technique he's used to make this kit. First, with this amazing coloured metallic marble effect. It's an amazing effect. I've seen other guys pull it off. It's something like putting a layer of black, sponging on silver with a bit of sponge or stippling of the brush, and putting a clear coloured coat on top. Sort of similar to the candy apple effect, though you've got that extra effect of the sponge. Lots of hand painting, such as the larger seams filled in with the gold on the red leg and the fingers on the hand. I have no idea how he pulled it off, is the effect of the sun on the face or head and the shoulder. It looks amazing. I almost would believe that he hand painted it on and then defined the edges with some sort of mechanical pencil. It's the only guess I can come up with. That effect really amazed me.
It's unique in terms of the type of painting you went for.
It's a mixture of airbrushing, hand painting, and laborious tasks. This is many layers of paint of various techniques with drying times in between.
Yeah, the cartoon sun that he did for the head and the shoulders does make it stand out from the rest.
Definitely. And I believe another guy did a Philippines Gundam. He did some sort of SD thing, and the only way he could come up with representing the sun was drawing the sun on a piece of paper, cutting it out and gluing it to the head in evidence of how difficult it is to represent it, where this form is extremely effective.
It's very stylized and yeah, like you say, it's very effective.
No, I definitely think it's worthy of our winner. I was just about to probably recommend people check out Mead's channel. He does a lot of tutorials and reviews. He sort of has something set up similar to what I do, where he teaches people how he builds kits, his style.
Well done, Mead. So I know you've chosen the prize of the brand new high-grade 1:144 scale Sinanju.
I'll be very interested to see what he'll do with it.
Congratulations, Meads. You take away the prize for this contest. Thank you very much, ishop2go.com. Alright, thanks a lot, Alan.
Beautiful, no problem.
It's been a pleasure.